Okay, there we are, and it's
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Maybe it isn't the door on the left. I don't know. Yeah. Let's go there.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You, Mr. Narrator. We're gonna disarm the bomb, or maybe not.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
And down we go. Maybe we have to escape that random bit before the mind control facility. Yeah.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Maybe not. It looks a bit scary. I'm gonna go back here. I think I was onto something.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, he had the strength a lot of time. I think he'll still have the strength.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
But it doesn't tell you how they went missing. Very odd. Maybe that's the ending? Maybe we have to get a lot further.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
And
for
oops. Okay. Well, maybe something's gone
blackness
right.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Oh.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine,
Hooray!
unshackled himself from
like
someone
sunlight.
else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay
How did I
unsolved.
get here?
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
And into the countryside.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin,
Well,
the feeling of liberation.
this looks like the end of the game.
immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Happy. Maybe that wasn't the end. Maybe there's the ending where you find out where your co-workers are. Who's ringing?
Hello. This is a recorded
Hello?
message
Oh.
scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are
Ironic.
listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Well, that was a big ton of irony. Let's get on with it. Looks like the original path is back, and there's the two doors.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Door on the left.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
I
Stanley knew
know.
it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to
Yes.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to admire it. And what a wonderful lounge it is.
Yes, this room.
With
What a beautiful
$1
room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
$1.25.
Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room.
And a
Life
coffee
without
machine.
having experienced this room
And
was
a
now too horrible even
mug.
to consider.
And a picture.
But eager to get back to
Okay.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
And missed that door. And where are we now?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's
Yes, he
incredible he
is.
wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, it's not nice. Do not lie. If you are lying, right now, stop. Lovely caution sign. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000, and penalty for jumping off the car. Ah!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what
Definitely
to
in
do,
control.
Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.